A talented, unique musician hailing from Texas. This is GroundSounds on the Grind, Sarah Jaffe. What's up? This is Jake with GroundSounds here talking to Sarah Jaffe while she stops by LA. How has this string of shows been going with Chelsea Wolfe?
It's been very good. It's been short and sweet, but I'm a big fan of Chelsea Wolfe, so it's been very nice.
Yeah, what are your plans after this?
I'm going to go back home for a little bit. I live in Dallas, Texas, and I'm pretty much around Dallas for the next couple months. I have some regional shows. I'll probably be at South by Southwest. For the most part, just small projects around Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So last year you released your new full-length, The Body Wins, filled with just beautiful music. I mean, where did the inspiration for this album come from?
Well, I mean, I think making my first record, Suburban Nature, I had just, in that time period between both records, I had just moved on to different instruments. I was listening to different things. I felt differently about just music in general and making music. And I just didn't want to go back to making Suburban Nature again.
Yeah.
And also, every time I picked up the guitar, it was just like white noise. So it was just too familiar. So I wanted to stretch myself a little bit, and I feel like The Body Wins was kind of a stretch for me, a growth in the right direction. So
what kind of musicians were inspiring you when you wrote it?
I was listening to a lot of electronic music. At the time I was listening to a lot of Robin, a lot of Radiohead, a lot of Bjork. Just going back to just staple influences for me, and also to kind of strangely balance it all off, I was listening to a ton of Harry Nilsson as well. So,
really?
Yeah, just the way, I mean, he's one of my favorite writers, and just his melodies, and yeah, he was an amazing artist, so I was listening to a lot of that as well.
So your video for Glorified High features a young girl, extremely talented, probably has more rhythm than I will ever have in my entire life at her age. Where did you find her, and how did you choreograph this video?
I definitely did not choreograph it, but I found her. Her name is Emily on YouTube, and I just thought it would be a really cool idea to have a kid dancing on this video. That's pretty much immediately what I saw when I thought about, what it was I wanted to do. And so I searched through YouTube, and I think my first search was like kids doing the jerk or the Dougie. Yeah. And I came upon Emily, and she was working with this choreographer who I'd heard about. His name was Mike Utrosaurus, and he's amazing. And her just delivery was just like on point, and I'd never really seen a child dance that well. And so it ended up working out. My manager got in contact with the choreographer Mikey, and then Mikey got in contact with Emily, and they came out to Dallas, and we did it. So.
Yeah, that was a really cool video.
Thanks. Yeah, I did very little work in that video.
Well, one of my favorite songs from the new album is Sucker for Your Marketing. What's the story behind that song?
That's one of the oldest songs on the record. When I wrote that song, I had just gotten off tour with Midlake in 2010. And I came home and I wanted to write, but I didn't want to write on the guitar, like I said. And so I went to this pawn shop in Denton, where I lived at the time. And I bought the guy that I knew, he gave me a bass and a drum set, a very crappy drum set for this like combo deal. And I was like, I can't pass that up. So I went home and I set my laptop on the floor tom, and I just did the bass lines, what you hear, the ding, 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 just 2 notes. And all of a sudden, just because of the simplicity of what I was playing, it just opened like the floodgates for like the possibilities of melody and a beat. And that was the first thing that came. And so I recorded that, and then I went to the drum set and I did the only beat I know how to do, which was the ting, 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 ting.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I recorded it that day, the same day I got the bass and the drum set, and put it on an EP that came out before The Body Wins. So, that was the first one that I wrote for that record.
Okay. So recently you got to perform your song Mannequin Woman for Jimmy Kimmel. What was that experience like?
It was awesome. Jimmy Kimmel, as well as like the entire crew that he works with, is so nice and very accommodating. It was a pleasure. I feel like for a television, debut, it was done with ease because he was so nice, and because everyone that he works with was very, very pleasant. So it was nerve-wracking at first, but they made it go by quickly and easily. So it was wonderful. It was a great experience.
Thank you so much, Sarah Jaffe. This is Jake for Ground Sounds.
Hi, this is Sarah Jaffe, and you're watching Ground Sounds.